What's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Game, like Will, man, back with another video. All right, so this video is going to be like 50-50, left hand, right hand analogy. This hand, it's funny, I started this channel off this way, but I'm making my way uh, not around town, but full 360, you know what I'm saying? And kind of around town too with this video because, you know, when I first started my channel, and I'm going to give y'all the real spill, man, I had an electric scooter. Now, that shit literally switched up my whole life. You feel me? Because a lot of people, especially in the summertime, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta pay nobody, no bus. Just to, when you get on the bus, they're taking you to a direct location and you're going like this. You're going in like around town first, and then you're going downtown maybe, or you're going somewhere else. And it's like when you get off the bus, depending on how much money you got, you go, especially downtown. I mean, I ain't gonna knock downtown, but this is what this video is about. It's about location, right? It's this special word called hotspots, and every town has them, and that's why this video is so funny, right? Because most guys know that already, right? I'm not saying nothing, nothing new under the sun, right? Guys know that whether I move to the most weirdest town in your city, it could be like 50 people in that motherfucker, right? Find the hot spots because every town has multiple hot spots. Then technically, your chances of creating a social circle goes up by 8. Reason I say 20, probably don't know how to talk to people. Now, I'm getting better. I'm not so good myself. But yeah, it's always going to be that 20% of you going home and just looking at your phone because you got some new females in there, but you ain't really make no friends, you feel me? And that's cool. Like me right now, I'm not in no gym, I'm not in school. That's a big bulk of community, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in school, I'm a part of the YouTube community, but that's like meta, right? That's metaphysical. That's not really physical. So, um, then you got family, and that's probably bad for a lot of people because family should be secondary when you're over 18, right? When you're over 18, family comes second in terms of how you spend your time. You should be with your friends, or you should be making business moves and money moves and relationship moves. But family and business don't even work. Family and making new friends really don't even work a lot of the times. So a lot of guys are standing on a deserted island and saying, why me? Why can't I get more women? Why can't I get more money? Not even realizing it's a social pyramid that you have to climb. And I'm giving y'all one of the pieces right now and dead in the middle of the pyramid. Because for me personally, I think I already, the first two levels I'm already pretty much Gucci with. But that, you know, number three is really on a pyramid would be high volume offer, right? And I got this from somebody, I'm not gonna lie, because I created my own pyramid, but I kind of got wrapped up in talking about women for like the last month, so I've never made it back to social circle game. But figure out the popular venues that has status. I love that term. Like he word things perfectly. You know what I'm saying? So I sometimes I gotta listen to other coaches, and it helps me because, like I said, I live in the neighborhood like everybody else, but sometimes here and there I'll get on the city bus, go downtown, or go to the mall. You know what I'm saying? Or I used to have gym memberships, but I wouldn't really. I was partially social at the gym. Obviously not as much as I would be now. But yeah, I was talking to people, but you know, everybody you talk to, and this is what people gotta realize, everybody you talk to is not gonna manifest into a brotherhood, a friendship, or a wingman or something like that that you may You may be like ready to go to war with this person. Like, okay, we could just, you know what I'm saying? But then there's some people, whether it be for cultural reasons or whatever, y'all just seem to hit it off. Like, y'all could be talking about the dumbest shit ever. I was in the mall one day just trying to get a job, and the guy, he happened to be Muslim or Arabic. And, you know, I told him, like, my family, I know people who, what I'm saying, are Muslim, and then it started right there. So it was a little instant rapport. And because that instant rapport, even though I was trying to get a job, he was like, "Oh, I could tell you kind of got a Muslim look, my little beard or whatever." And so that kind of was just the vibe. And I'm like, I feel instant comfort. He probably felt instant comfort. And you got to realize with somebody at work all day, there's a lot of discomfort. You know what I'm saying? Then somebody comes with a good vibe. Because I'm a dating coach, it frees me up. Not frees me up. I mean, it could do that too if you're not really about what you talk about. If you're a YouTuber, you can get frozen like a motherfucker. But if you even got a little glimmer of, excuse me with that. If y'all even got a little glimmer of authenticity about what you talk about and you really genuinely take to that craft, then when you get around people, here's the funny thing: you can always share that, right? I'm talking to a female right now, and I asked her, what's something interesting you got into lately, like adventure wise, and she said really nothing much, and then she flipped it on me and said, what have you been into? And I told her about, I do YouTube. My YouTube channel is the most adventurous thing for me right now. Da 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 da. That's the conversation, right? And so she said, "That's good. Congratulations on that." And then we just, she said, "What's your link to the YouTube?" So I told her, like, man, listen, I'll give you the link when I take you out on a date. How about that? I kept it like that type vibe. I suggest any of y'all YouTubers that's dating, don't do that. Don't give a female, because they'll get to looking at your, how many views you get, and get to looking at certain things. I'm not saying she was like that, but I'm a dating coach, right? So I pick up on patterns and what happens in my life. I don't, but when you do it this way, it's better because you could put the female in front of the camera first, and then it's like a win-win instead of a lose-win or a lose-lose. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so we got the meta world of dating and making friends. Typically, a lot of y'all wouldn't go on Facebook or Instagram to make new friends, even though that is a route you can take. But it's like it's the path of most resistance in my mind, because the quicker you could see somebody in real life, the more trust. Same thing go for women with us. Same thing go for us with other guys. If you're already, like I said with the Arab guy, if you're already in the same presence of him and you're talking to him and already y'all just chopping it up, it's like, damn, we already in real time, bro. Like, we already, you could tell if you fuck with somebody or not based on that, based on those ramifications. Now, obviously, you don't know if you're gonna fuck with a person in 5 years, 5 weeks, whatever, but you can obviously move things forward based on that. So, like, I haven't been to. I think I've been to the mall like last week. I didn't see Buddy. I think they was closing when I made that video talking about it. But yeah, I always got in the back of my mind, if I see Buddy, I'm gonna say what's up. And so that's where it starts. And then even offering the idea of someone being your wingman, like, yo, you know, on your breaks, bro, we should, talk to women in here. Like, you feel me? I ain't in here all the time. I'm a dating coach, but look, take my Instagram, bro. Like, I'm gonna hit you on Instagram and just be out, right? But yeah, just putting that bug in people's ear that, what value do you think you offer or got, and just being honest about your lifestyle, right? A lot of the times, people find it hard to tell people what they do or what they're trying to pursue, because they figure either A, they're not going to give a fuck, or B, they're going to judge you and like, yo, you a dating coach, what? Like, da 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 da. Or even if I tell a girl, like, like I said about my YouTube, they will judge you. If they get to watching your YouTube channel, they will start judging you. And they'll be like, I don't know if I want to date him because he seemed like this guy or that guy. And it's better for them to just run into that wall and see for themselves. Because I could be the best thing that ever happened to you. You feel me? Like, and I don't like people to cut their chances like that, like, just it's just a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? It's better that you see for yourself because you may really like me, but then, you know, the lifestyle could turn you off. You feel me? But I'd rather you turn me off in real life than to turn me off because of my YouTube channel. So listen, back to the social circle game because women could also be a social circle wingman for you. By the way, so but they're secondary in this. They could be first, but from my experience, they're secondary because I just feel like men are supposed to hang with men. I feel like if you got 10 friends, it's like the 70-30 rule for me. Like 77 of them are male, three of them could be female. And that's my rule as a man. So, that's how how I move out here. Also, your hobbies, activities, and events, like me being into thrifting and things like that. But from what I've seen, that shit don't really. I mean, it's not the most attractive thing to tell somebody let's go thrifting or some shit. I mean, it can happen, but there's other things like this. Why we're talking about hotspots, right? The thrift store is not really a hotspot. It can you could go in there yourself and meet somebody and like, yo, what's up, bro? Da, da, da. And it could go that way, but not really as far. I mean, the bowling alley is a hotspot in my neighborhood. The bowling alley, the mall, um, I wouldn't say fruit stores because when you go in fruit stores, everybody's like so. I mean, you could flirt with women there, but everybody, as far as the men, we're so busy trying to be healthy that it's like you kind of blocking other people out, and it's a good thing. So you don't really want to use that space for that. But just understand, man, it could be at many different places. You just got to be creative. There's a pool place near my house. Obviously, Walmart, Target can be used, but for me, not really, because I don't use them up enough. Just talking to women in there, so they don't really like me in there. But building these hotspots, right? Create in your notes a thing called hotspots and just build on that every day. You know what I'm saying? Visit once a week or twice a week. Try a new hotspot per week. Force yourself right out the door because it's getting cold now, so it's easy for me to just lay around. But when you do this, you're positioning yourself, and that's what it's called, man. It's positioning yourself, and when you position yourself, man, at these popular venues, that have status, right? You figure them out, right? Then that allows you to do different things from that position, right? You could throw parties, you could start group chats, or you could just like kind of like what they call it, parlay or like hot. I forgot what that word is. You could just kind of like vibe a little bit more, right, with that. And you can also, if you don't got a car, just be like, "Yo, mom, can you drop me off in this neighborhood or around here?" Or you could just take the city bus, or take your bike and get a lock for your bike and lock that shit up. You know, at the door entrance or some shit. You could also. I wouldn't say go to the library or nothing like that, man. It's you got to really read the room, man. And you got to ask yourself like what type of because I'm not ruling certain things out because I seen a bad chick that was a librarian. But meeting other guys and shit like that is not the library. I mean, it can happen, bro. You gotta understand, like, and this is why I say write them down because you gotta understand this shit is 50-50, bro. Like a place that might work for you may not work for somebody else, but there are hot spots, you feel me? And that's what you want to aim towards and understand, bro. Because listen, at that point you could start to bring a friend or two, or you can do this thing where you're telling people. Now you're probably setting up events to some degree, especially if you learn where the hot spots are, so you can set up these little events like the pool place near my house. I can set up an event. This Thursday I'm gonna go play pool for like an hour, right? So I want to invite somebody to play pool, maybe one person. You know what I'm saying? Then when that event is done, maybe go grab some food, and then, um, but the hard part for people is being inventive with these, like, kind of like rolling out that red carpet for another person to come on into the event. So a lot of people have insecurity or some feeling around reaching out first, or even I don't want to reach out. And it's another thing. People don't want to reach out first and then link up with somebody and then be like, damn, this shit either feel weird or it's boring or I should have stayed at the crib. But you got to go out on a limb, and that's what no one talks about in the social circle game is it is associated with risk. Everything in life is risk, but I don't see a lot of people in the social circle realm talking about how much of a risk that there is. And in reality, it's the biggest risk, you know what I'm saying? Because you're meeting other men. And, when you're going out talking to 300 women, they're all just going to say, deuces, I don't want you. And then you're going to go home and be like, I'm a warrior, you know what I'm saying? I just got rejected a million times. And not only that, you really going to tomorrow, have us more self-esteem because you got rejected 1,000 times. So there's no way to lose that, like how a lot of people think it is. And then but when it comes to meeting other men, you know it's a dicey game, you know what I'm saying, because you don't know who the fuck you talking to, you don't know who you meeting. And but again, you got to read the room and understand environments, right? In biology, I guess, because you got to understand that humans, we are, our body is a room, right? Our body is a room that you should understand your own body and your own biology. It's a room. And then people who, like I said, vibe with that, they it's like they vibe with it for a reason. Like, so it's like when you talking to somebody, it's like, yeah, you could tell that you're in safe hands with somebody because the vibe will naturally expose it. Because you need, that's all you really need to go off of, because it's an environment within an environment. Everything is an environment within environments, if you know science and biology. So, you know, that's why as soon as I eat bad food, I start feeling bad, and I start, girls will run away from me at that point because they're like, yo, his vibe is off. I don't want to be around that. So that's why I talk about fasting and eating fruits. And then for a lot of y'all guys, it's going to the gym, getting up at a certain time and doing things a certain type of way. Obviously, I shortcut these things because I don't got no gym membership right now. But I could, I mean, it's getting cold. I could go to the fucking park over here. But it's very difficult for men to maintain a good measurement of what I'm talking about right now and then give that to the world, right? It's too much swaying in terms of vibration and financials and this and that and that. You live in chaos. So when you cross paths with other men, it's like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be received this way or that way, perceived this way or that way. And so, it's so much junk food, and even the cereals is like really just like it's like I'm looking at these cereals, it's like candy, man. Like, I didn't buy none of this, but this shit is like candy, bro. Like, at the end of the day, marshmallows is really candy. You know what I'm saying? In reality, this is my favorite. This is my favorite cereal, but it's just can't. It's a bunch of sugar, bro. So it's like, you know, when you learn the game, you can obviously fuck your vibe up and still say the right things to people. But I said that in another video. But you have to understand why you feel how you feel in order for you to not fear how you feel. Because then you're in a double quandary. Because now you are eating something and thinking, oh, I'm going to get away with it. But then you don't get away with it. And now you're mad at the fact you didn't get away with it. And now you think that the world is got, everyone's in isolation, or no one, it's a cold world outside. And it's like, you not know other people outside just having fun playing basketball and just doing regular shit. And it's like, that's another thing, right? Gyms, open gyms, college campuses, like, hotspots is a word that is so funny that if y'all don't take this video and attack this game right here, then don't say nothing, because this is the pinnacle of it. You take a loser and put him in an environment where, it's a bunch of, put a loser in a party, where every woman is twerking, and he might get a number, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got to understand that most guys that complain on YouTube are sitting in one place every day. You feel me? And that's the problem. And they need this type of guidance, because it's not always, who you are. It's honestly sometimes where you are. And because people always say, oh, it's not where you at, it's who you are, it's where you at, or some shit like that. And I honestly believe that too. Right, we just talked about vibration and what you put in your body, and what, obviously your what you think in the journaling and these things like that, the psychology, philosophy vibe, right? But let's be honest, it's actually the table you set at high school that depended on if you were talking to bad or bitches. One time I just sat at the most popular table I could find. You feel me? I didn't sit there every day, but I had my own neighborhood group. But when I sat down at a different table, it was different type of animals at that table, and some badass animals looked at me and start, they looking like, yo, okay, because it's funny, because Popular people know they popular. You feel me? And that's what unpopular people don't be realizing, but they know they popular. So when you sit at their table, they're like, okay, let me see if he, because he obviously got balls for doing that. Now let me see. And then either way it go, you gonna eat. You feel me? But people don't realize that, and it's like it's kind of weird. It's kind of funny territory. But I just want to say this, bro. Fuck all that. Your ability to throw parties or host events can't go up unless you do this first step, which is the hotspot effect, right? The hotspot effect, HSE, hotspot effect, HSE. Sound like a fucking college, but uh, or I don't know what it sounds like. But listen, hotspots, bro, like plazas. I always talk plazas. Like if you can't, if it's too late to go to like what you deem a hotspot because everything's closed. There's plazas, there's stores that's 24 hours in plazas and stuff like that. Like you don't always have to be conventional or normal to what everybody else is doing, which makes you better at that point because you got more options. So you could do this shit night and daytime, you know. But most people are not scavengers, and that's me too. I realize that about myself. Like, yo, you're not really a scavenger of hotspots. You just like the Walmarts, the Targets, this, that, but you're not really a scavenger for real. Because a scavenger is going to run into both good and bad situations. I'm going to keep it 100. Because it's like, it's just inevitable, Like going to Target at, daytime is not, there's very low risk. But going to a bar at 10 p.m. or even the bowling alley like I was at the other day, it's different. It's a different vibe. The girls come faster to you to talk to you, but the guys are following the girls. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta understand the company you keep, man. Because for some people, their hotspots may not even be that. Their hotspots may be the yoga class or the chess club or some type of event downtown or some shit. And I always talk about HAE, hobbies, activities, and events. And we're just gonna stand on that for probably a couple more videos. I'm gonna start with this video, but then we're gonna stand on this topic for a couple videos because I don't want to just talk and then go back talking about women and then come back to talk about social. I want to kind of immerse myself in a social circle around for like a week or two because I understand like A, I need to work on it, and B, other guys need to work on it. So because once you get that social circle confidence, it's impossible for a girl to really throw you off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the fact that you got friends is just gonna make you be like, man, listen, win, lose, or draw, I win. You know what I'm saying? Me and bro about to go play the game, eat some Chipotle, and it's over. She lost. She really genuinely lost because women get their pride or proudness out of attention. And if they lose, if they don't penetrate the social circle or they reject it, then they kind of miss out too. So it's like it's funny the game and how it works. But I'm gonna end the video on that note, man. But this is about hotspots and how to use them and how to just be more out there in a sense because I mean, like I said, in the summer I was really out there. A lot of the women I was meeting, I was going to stores and just stand in front of the store for a little while, talk to certain girls. It was like that. So it ain't like it ain't so easy for you to just it's 50-50. If your approach is right, you could do it in passing, but sometimes you got to kind of stake out in front of a place for a good 10 minutes and or go to a place. So like I said, being cold outside makes it more difficult. But like this video, let me know what y'all think down below. It's your boy Game Like Will. See y'all in the next video. I'm out, man. See y'all.